When he was finally able to activate his emergency transponder, his first message was simple and it was powerful. He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see, shot down on a Friday, Good Friday, hidden in a cave, a crevice, all of Saturday, and rescued on Sunday. Flown out of Iran as the sun was rising on Easter Sunday. A pilot reborn, all home and accounted for, a nation rejoicing. God is good.
Ah, yes, invoking the image of Jesus Christ to help sell an illegal war. Hey, Pete, how is that whole Christ-like war going for you?
Per the president's direction, today will be the largest volume of strikes since day one of this operation. Tomorrow, even more than today. And then Iran has a choice. Choose wisely, because this president does not play around. You can ask Soleimani, you can ask Maduro, you can ask Khomeini.
Cool, man. But, hey, if the war can't be Christian per se, at least the guy running it can be Christ-like, right? Maybe by, I don't know, turning war into wine.
Many of your work colleagues have said that you show up for work under the influence of alcohol or drunk. I know you've denied that, but you would agree with me, right, that if that was the case, that would be disqualifying for somebody to be Secretary of Defense.
Senator, those are all anonymous false claims, and the totality
they're not anonymous.
The letters on the record here.
They're not anonymous.
On the record,
we've seen records with names attached to them.
Vets for Freedom, Concerned Vets for America, and Fox News
one of your colleagues
working hard every day on behalf.
One of your colleagues said that you got drunk at an event at a bar and chanted, "Kill all Muslims." Another colleague, not anonymous, we have this, said that you took co-workers to a strip club. You were drunk, you tried to dance with strippers, you had to be held off the stage, and one of your employees in that event filed a sexual harassment charge as a result of it. Now, I know you denied these things, but isn't that the kind of behavior that, if true, would be disqualifying for somebody to be Secretary of Defense?
Senator, anonymous false charges.
They're not anonymous. And I'll just conclude and say this to the chairman. You claim that this was all anonymous. We have seen records with names attached to all of these, including the name of your own mother. So don't make this into some anonymous press thing.
I love how he emphasizes anonymous over false. Like, I feel like even if they were anonymous, you'd really want to hit the false part a little harder, like to make your case. Well, those were anonymous and false. Like, I feel like you really want to drive the false part home, to prove that they're lying. And it just didn't seem like he was even committed to like saying that they were necessarily lying. But I guess that's the art of the deal of the war on terror or whatever. Now, I'm no body language expert also, but Patrick Bateman there is lying, just in case anybody was confused. And this raises the question. It doesn't beg the question because that's incorrect. Who likes this guy?
That's exactly what happened. So he's great. And Pete, all I can say is that he was treated very unfairly. And now those same people that treated him unfairly, that fought against him, they called me up saying, what a great choice he was. They said, well, what happened during his nomination? What happened to you? I'm telling you, people that were not for him, senators, friends of mine, sir, I don't think you're doing the right thing. Now they're calling me up. What a choice.
Yeah, I'm no expert in body language, but that old guy who sounds like he just did 4 shots of Novocaine, yeah, he's lying. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with this deranged lunatic social media feed, but yeah, he doesn't sound great.
I don't think it was just the F word that people were upset about. Some people think it doesn't sound like strength so much as escalation, right? And Donald Trump did win the election from support from a lot of people who were non-interventionists. So they were sick of these forever wars. They didn't want involvement in Iran. So if they hear about bridges and they hear about power plants, whether there's the F word there or not, then they're going to think that that sounds a little bit like escalation, which doesn't necessarily make them soft or liberals. It is different, Kellyanne, from I think that there are people certainly who they are wrapped up in they don't like Donald Trump, and it can feel like they're rooting against the United States, which is wrong, but it does not apply to everyone. And I think that's an important part of this conversation to distinguish. It doesn't make you anything other than what you've always been, which is a non-interventionist, if you are one of those people. People can believe any collection of things they want to believe. They can be liberal, they can be conservative, they can be independent like I am, and absolutely detest the Iranian regime, and still be concerned when rhetoric starts sounding like escalation, when what you want to see is the opposite of that.
Fox News is so funny. I mean, like, they're focusing so much on the F word in that post. Like, oh, is it a sign of weakness? Is it a sign of strength? Okay, first of all, it's definitely a sign of weakness. But also in that same post, like a few sentences later, Donald Trump just goes full-blown blasphemous. Like, he says, praise be to Allah in a sarcastic manner, which would be considered blasphemy. If Obama had done that during his presidency, he would have been offed by the end of the day. So let's round out all of this insanity with a bit of a palate cleanser, which I like to call a very common Scott Jennings L.
Let's be honest here. We've already spent $40 billion in the war in Iran. The Iraq war with shifting objectives cost us $2 trillion. To make this human and to make it local for what Scott would know, the entire budget of the state of Kentucky is $40 billion. We'd be able to feed every single hungry kid in Kentucky significant times over with that money. We would be able to rebuild the Eastern Kentucky flooding 28 times over. You could go all the way down the list. The addiction program in Kentucky would be paid 1,300 times over with the money we've already spent. We know what happened in Iraq. We can't have it happen again in Iran.
Great job, Scott. I think the cold, dead eyes really help sell this war. It's best to look totally numb and detached when people bring up how this illegal war is being prioritized over the suffering of people from your home state. I mean, really, really good stuff. Now, at the time of this recording, Iran is fast approaching the deadline that Trump set in motion, and who knows what the Mad King is going to do later today. I personally don't feel very good about it, but I guess we'll see. One thing is for certain, however, this mess could not have happened without the support of evangelical Christians who have supported this administration time and time again. Great job, you guys. Now, I'm not trying to insult evangelical Christians, though I am not above that either. However, I do think they should feel insulted by the administration they've supported so much, constantly insulting their intelligence by using this dressed up, metaphorical, movie-like language to justify horrendous actions on the world stage. You should feel a little bad about that. I don't know, maybe you should open that book that they're constantly using to manipulate you just a little bit, just to read it for yourself, see what it says. You might see some conflicting things in there. Also, Pete Hegseth is essentially a gluttonous drunkard, and he is working for a mad king who people worship in place of a false god. And they're doing this because there is a sense of jealousy over their international neighbors. They're essentially breaking every single commandment they possibly can, which is one of the reasons they should be impeached. Also, Pete, that pocket square still implies that you're blowing your nose on the American flag. Please don't blow your nose on the American flag, Pete Hegseth. I mean, I'm not like, but like, it seems rude. You know what I mean? Anyway, hopefully we have an opposition party soon that can take care of these lunatics. In the meantime, I guess we just hope, and pray that nothing insane happens this week or next week. But who knows? Who knows what will happen? I think we should impeach Donald Trump immediately because of all the war crimes. And you can just spin a wheel and just throw a dart and impeach him. Anyway, I will see you next time, folks. I hope.